Welcome to Who Put This On, episode 21, in which we discuss Epic Meal Nation, season 2, episode 2?
Epic Meal Empire.
I thought it was Nation.
Empire, definitely Empire.
I think it was a season 1 episode.
Season
wasn't it?
1, episode
2. Okay. Season 1, episode 2. Sorry, guys. I was not paying attention to that. Now I'm Chris Lorenz. Sitting to my right is...
Harrison Hoffman.
Sitting right next to him is...
Oh, man, you tricked me up there. I was like, whoa, no, where's he going? This is James.
Well, should I say sitting diagonally from him? Did that help you?
Sitting to Harrison's right.
Yeah, to Harrison's right
Yeah.
is James.
Sitting to my left.
Macaroni and cheese.
Very nice.
It's a good one.
Thanks.
Also sitting to my left.
Robert Kitts.
Yeah. So if you haven't listened to us before, we watch one reality show a week and discuss how terrible it is because all reality shows are terrible. That's what we do.
That's what you do.
What? That's what we do.
Chris's
I don't understand.
Harrison definitely takes the most exception to that.
All right. Fair.
So,
we just
sometimes I get excited about reality shows.
Well, we kind of discuss who put this on, and then we yell at whoever decided we should watch this episode.
Yep.
It's true. Sometimes there's some good stuff, though, every once in a while. But mostly it's a lot of crap.
I also want to kind of introduce, do you think people should stop this podcast right now and watch the show?
Just walk away from the show.
Really? I didn't think it was that bad. So should we set up the show before we...
Okay, read the plot line first.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
And then we'll go over...
first of all, the name of the show is Epic Meal Empire, not Epic Meal Nation.
Sorry. I already said sorry for that one.
He did apologize.
Epic Meal Empire. With more than 600 million views in weekly webisodes and over 6 million YouTube subscribers to date, Harley Morenstein, a.k.a. the Sauce Boss, in quotation marks, and his kitchen crew are ready for primetime television. From whiskey-laced burger-stuffed lasagnas to donut casseroles to Jack and Coke cupcakes, the Epic Mealtime team delivers recipes that are visually mind-blowing spins on food preparation and presentation. This new FYI series will follow the ingenious group as they invent spectacular new dishes on a whole new epic level.
I kind of like the idea of these Jack and Coke cupcakes. Is there like a
I feel
recipe
like
for that or something?
I feel like I've had one before.
Like, I don't know, it's just me. I'm pretty excited
Well, I
about
feel
those.
like didn't Emmy make like LIT cupcakes one time?
Irish car bomb cupcakes.
Oh, okay.
That's
Actually, no. I think she also made LIT cupcakes. one
Yeah.
time.
We got to get Jack and Coke cupcakes on the list.
I'll send out the bat signal of cupcakes, and we'll see what
Quick!
comes out.
We need cupcakes.
All right. So what do you guys
That
think?
was my Batman.
Is that your cupcake?
That was my
signal?
Robin voice signaling Batman to get the cupcakes voice.
So Batman's getting the cupcakes, not Alfred.
It would seem like
Oh.
Batman probably doesn't get his own cupcakes.
Yeah, but Alfred doesn't respond to the bat signal, so that doesn't make any sense.
When it's cupcakes, he does though.
Yeah.
So you think like Batman's
But
turning on
Batman's
like the
deliver-
signal and like Alfred's like, oh shit, better make some cupcakes. That guy's gonna be pissed.
Yeah,
I
When he
feel,
gets them.
I feel like I'm putting out the bat signal, and then Alfred's making the cupcakes, and Batman is delivering them to me.
It's like, did somebody ask for cupcakes?
Yeah.
That was nowhere near deep enough.
I know. I couldn't go low enough. I tried to go low there. Didn't work out.
All right. So do you guys think that people should stop this podcast and watch the show before they continue?
People can do what they want.
Yeah, but
So I don't
Thanks.
think so. So I don't
Well,
think that
obviously.
listening. So I don't think that listening to the podcast is going to ruin the show for them. So I don't think that they have to stop and watch it. But I think that it's a show that's maybe worth 20 minutes of your life if you don't have to pay $4 for it.
I would agree with that.
I think that I actually laughed out loud on this in this episode, which is probably the first time ever the reality show that we've actually watched.
I don't. So my quick thing is, I don't think it's critical to watch the show before we're going to talk about it. 'Cause
Okay,
don't-
I mean
the plot's not
that's
that
I
important
guess
in
that's
this
an impromptu question that might
Sure.
be worded incorrectly.
Yeah, I just don't think the plot's like all that critical in the show. There's not really a plot.
It's not.
It's like, hey, some dudes are going to cook some shit. Surprise.
I mean, you mostly watch this show for the kind of the one-liners from the guys and for just to see like the crazy food stuff that they make. Like all the other stuff's just kind of filler around it.
Yeah.
I really liked the guy with the beard.
You mean the main guy,
The
or just
guy.
all the guys? I guess.
All
Every
the
guy
guys have giant beard.
They all had.
But there's one guy with a particularly giant beard.
Harley's beard's on a whole other level.
Yeah.
But I think Max's point was they were all guys with beards.
Do you think he has insurance on that beard?
No.
Like if that beard goes away, I feel like he's unrecognizable. Like
What would that guy look like without a beard?
that is a great question.
But, would it actually be worth getting beard insurance? Because let's say you get, whatever is it?
wait, so like, have we already just accepted the fact that beard insurance is a real thing?
Well, I'm
just-
saying,
you just
I'm
accepted
saying,
that, like,
I'm
oh, yeah,
saying,
that's-
I'm saying,
that's
in the
clearly-
world where beard insurance is a thing,
you can get insurance on whatever you want, James.
I don't know if that's true.
We
That
asked
is
about
entirely sure.
I
You
tried
can
to
get
get
it
jail insurance before we went to New Orleans, and that was not a thing we could have got.
jail insurance,
Yeah,
because
do you not
no
remember
one
the
can
conversation?
pay to get you out of jail.
It's called a bail bond.
bail bondsman.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you're not going to go back to jail during your after your trial. Like
I don't know how many claims you get on the jail insurance card. I'm just saying.
if you get
So just get out of jail
convicted,
for
Okay,
free
hold
card.
on. James, can you explain what jail insurance is?
We've had the conversation.
Not on this
on
podcast, we haven't. So
it's
please
true.
explain for the audience what jail insurance is.
I haven't heard the conversation.
Okay,
Please
so
fill
like,
me in.
there's a window of time. You're like, hey, I'm gonna go somewhere. I'm gonna need some insurance because some things may go down, and I don't know what's gonna go down or not go down. But want to get some insurance. It's in the event that something happens, and then I end up in jail.
So
Okay,
I
but
go to-
hold on.
Then,
Hold on.
then you're like, okay, you get arrested, and they're in the process of booking. You're like, all right, I got this card. This is my get out of jail insurance card, and you show them that card, and then you get out of jail because you got insurance.
So do you get?
It covers a set number of things, just like car insurance or anything
Do you-
else. It doesn't
do you-
cover like if you run your car into the lake, that was intentional. But like something happens, you get arrested, you got jail insurance.
So there is like a set list of crimes,
yeah.
which if you get arrested for, it absolves you of the crime,
Right. Maybe there's probably like a fee or something like
The
you have to
thing-
pay. What's that?
like a deductible.
Get out of
there's a
jail free
deductible,
card?
this
But
is
it's
the most
far less
absurd thing
than
you
a bail
could ever
bond.
come up with.
Dude, I'm just saying, jail insurance.
It doesn't
Should
make any
totally be a thing.
sense. If
Wait.
I gave you jail insurance
Yeah.
that gives you incentive to go out and commit crimes, there is no way that's ever going to be legal.
I
There's
mean,
a couple things I
I
want.
mean, but just because you have car insurance, it doesn't give you an incentive to go and crash your car,
Yeah, because then it goes up.
It's the same thing.
right?
No, it doesn't, because I
Yeah.
could just cancel jail insurance after I do the it's a crime for a reason. Like car insurance you need just in
Yeah.
case something happens.
Hitting another
Whereas,
car
like,
with your car is also a crime for a reason, but the car insurance covers the damages.
it covers. That's not the point. The
It's
point
the
is,
same
if I
thing.
give you insurance to get out of jail, then what's the point of not committing crimes? Like
Well,
you could just commit a crime and then you get out.
Well, you still got to pay the fee.
Yeah, I mean, if you were rich, if you were like a billionaire,
No, well,
and I
it's-
gave you
the
jail
deductible
insurance,
is
why would
cheaper
you go
than,
around
like,
like
the bail bond.
capping people?
I didn't
Because-
say murder's on the list.
Because the
personally.
insurance company has assessed your
Right.
likelihood to start capping people,
Right. Yeah, like the insurance rate
and
is
but
and
different.
and your rates go up accordingly.
Yeah, like you get this thing like a couple of times and you file a claim every time. Like you're flagged in the system. It's like this guy is going to commit a crime.
That doesn't. Whatever. It just makes zero sense.
okay,
I
Rob,
have a few questions about
Okay.
this. First of all, if you have a card that lets you get out of jail, you
Yeah.
can't call it your get out of jail insurance card. It's got to be your get out of jail free card. Like that's just
you
what you
gotta go
have to
free,
call
but
it.
it's not free because it's jail insurance.
But you could buy a get out of jail free card in Monopoly. It's the same
It's
thing.
true.
All right. Second thing, give me an example of a crime that jail insurance gets you out of. I just want to understand this a little.
well, I guess it
better.
depends on
Jaywalking.
on the
No,
rate
yeah.
you're paying.
What- He wanted to get jail insurance
like
for
you
his
got,
trip to
you got
Whistler.
Class B
What
insurance,
kind
you
of
got Class A? You got the premium.
What's an
stuff.
example of a crime that if you had the insurance, you'd get out of jail in Whistler?
Well, he wanted
Grand
it for
theft
his trip
by
to New
ski.
Orleans.
Mostly New Orleans.
Oh, New Orleans. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry.
Right.
So, what kind of crime are you going to possibly commit in New Orleans?
I don't know. I mean, I really haven't had that problem, but just in thinking of things,
What to
I don't
choose
know.
from?
yeah, there's like so many things I guess that could theoretically happen.
Bar fight, public urination.
Yeah. So you get groped at that one bar in New Orleans, which will happen. Can't remember the name of that bar right now, but that'll happen.
Terrible bar.
Yeah, don't go there.
Don't go there.
And then
We were only there for a
you
while.
accidentally hit someone. Next thing you know, it's a full-on bar fight. Multiple people, cops show up, and you're arrested. Right now, you're just like, hey, I was just trying to have a drink, but I got to end up getting groped. Now, next thing you know, I'm in a fight. Now I'm in jail, but I got this jail insurance,
So
so
if-
good to go.
If you didn't have jail insurance,
Jailinsurance.com.
If you didn't have jail
Website,
insurance,
I don't
is
even
it
know.
is it just a fine to get out of jail, or do you have to go to a trial to get out of jail if you don't have the insurance?
Nah, like the package of the jail insurance.
No,
like,
but if I
you got a
don't-
lawyer with the jail insurance that like gets things handled, you're good to go.
So jail insurance just pays for your lawyer. Is that how it works?
Well, like
just a
you
good
don't go
lawyer.
to jail. You don't go to jail.
But like, so if you didn't have jail
Like,
insurance,
you show up at the police station for processing. You're like, hey, I got jail insurance. They run your card, make sure it checks out.
okay, I just want
and
to.
then you're good
so
to go.
you're bribing police officers to get out of jail.
No, it's a legal system. It's documented. There's a processing. There's
I'm
cards
just saying
with
you're
scanners.
giving incentivizing to get into fights at bars. No one's gonna allow that.
No, there's a risk assessment process. Though.
What? It doesn't matter if you have insurance where you're like, I can like if I'm getting
Do
into
you
an
have health
assault.
insurance?
No, I'm just saying like okay,
Because you're not just smoking, like 20 packs of cigarettes a day because you got health insurance.
These are
Yes,
bad
I am.
You got health
analogies.
insurance. Don't mind if I do.
These
Hey.
are bad analogies.
Hey, I got home fire insurance. I'm gonna burn my house down.
Right? Like these are things.
Yeah,
people
but they
have.
hurt you if you're out.
I mean,
if you have like
that
an
does
assault,
happen
if you
with,
go
like,
assault
restaurants
somebody,
and shit.
like
Right.
you may get a little hurt, but
You
it's
may
not
like. I'm not saying that like the crime doesn't go in your record. I'm just saying you don't go to jail.
you still gonna go. You are de-incentivizing these things. You're allowing people to go out and assault you because they can.
So I'm not saying that there's no trouble that you get into, right? Like you still have a criminal, like something happened that's on your record. Sure, fine.
Yeah,
Like,
but then
there's
you don't go
fines
to
along with
jail.
that.
Jail is the punishment.
See,
But like I'm saying that like you just avoid the jail. You're recognizing that you did something wrong. You're like admitting guilt to that. But like it's like, hey, I just don't want to spend the next 3 days in jail.
I think this
That'd
is
be great.
potential. I think this is potential.
Right.
Because this is what's happening is you have to narrow it down to crimes where part of the punishment is not to go to jail but to pay a fine. And then you're saying it's almost like a TSA pre-situation where like you're paying an extra piece of money for premium processing of I don't have to go to jail and get processed. I'm in the system, pay my fine immediately, and I'm just out the door real quick.
Ah.
And you go to cities that are like in debt from all the stuff, things going on in the economy and things. You're like, I have a way to make you money getting in the insurance business for these like minor crimes,
Right.
and they're going to be like, this is a great idea.
You're just gonna have a spike in minor crimes. It's gonna be great.
No, I think it's just you still have to pay a fine.
It's
it's
still
paying
illegal
for your
to do whatever
premium
you did.
processing, but you
Right.
still get a fine on top of your insurance.
Yeah, you still get fined the same amount that you would, but you're paying some additional money for the fast lane.
That's right.
Well, you're also
Wait.
avoiding actual jail time.
Is this constitutional?
Who knows?
All right.
I don't know.
Depending on the crimes, it might be.
So about the show,
What show?
Actually, let's bring it back full circle. I think with beard insurance, there's a lot of potential for
Oh, yeah.
insurance fraud.
We have to talk about beard insurance. That's how we got here.
so I'm
So-
mainly referring to like celebrities can get insurance on like if a production if you go in production on like a movie and like somebody you get hit in the head and get like a concussion, like there's insurance for that kind of stuff.
But like,
I'm
I
thinking the same
get,
thing.
I get my beard insured for $1 million. The next day, I show up. I'm like, my beard's gone. I don't know what happened.
The thing is, like, an insurance company wouldn't insure that for $1 million because it's not your beard isn't worth $1 million.
But what if it was?
Oh
What if it
man,
was?
That guy's beard is worth money.
Yeah, he gets it insured for $1 million, and then he goes on YouTube and like, I have no more beard.
I don't know.
I think that's gonna happen.
Is there any celebrity whose beard is worth $1 million?
That's a great question.
beard, no hair, yeah.
Beard?
I feel like Zach Galifianakis' beard was, but he already shaved it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Jeff Bridges?
I feel like the Epic Meal Nation guy is the only guy that has like a decent beard that I can think of.
Would you say
How
it's
about-
worth
how
$1 million?
about- How about like the Duck
'Cause he's
Dynasty
not-
guys? Like they have some
Oh,
pretty iconic beards, right?
That's a good point.
Yeah,
well, it kind of is like their whole.
That's the whole thing.
look.
yeah. That's the whole Epic Mealtime look too.
Yeah,
But here's the thing about beard insurance. It would be dumb to pay for it because even if something crazy happens and your beard gets shaved off,
well, like what if it lights on fire?
okay, if something crazy happens and you lose your beard for whatever reason,
You're hanging out with James, and
you can
lights
just
it on fire.
like you can wear a fake beard, and it's not like that much more work.
What do you mean? They have iconic beards. You can't just
Oh, you don't think that if somebody got money for beard insurance, they can't get someone to design a beard like wig for them? Is that what it's called? Beard wig?
Wigs don't look the same as like real hair.
You can make it out of hair, actual hair. Can't you? They make wigs out of real hair.
I've never seen anyone with a beard wig.
Well, yeah, but if you're at that level, you gotta have beard wigs on as a backup.
So is it a beard wig by definition, or is a wig like by definition go on top of your head?
That's a great question.
I don't know
That's
what
a
it's
terrible
called.
question. No one cares what it's called.
I don't think it's called beard wig. It just doesn't sound right.
It might be
Sit well
called a
with me,
beard
man.
wig.
I think it's a beer wig. Beer
a beer wig?
It's a beer wig.
What's
So
a
then-
Put a
beer
wig on your beard.
Earwig?
So then is it like a mustache wig?
Yeah, I feel it's just
like a fake mustache. So it's a fake beard.
But like, you don't call it a fake headpiece. You put it on
Yeah,
your
you
head.
call it a wig.
Right.
You
But I
know
feel like
those-
wig by definition is like a
Yeah, no,
hairpiece.
it's definitely like a head, the
This
top of
is
the
the
head. kind of
worst
thing.
conversation we've
So
ever
according
had.
to Wikipedia, a wig is a head covering.
Yeah, see?
But is this a part of your head? I would argue that the chin area is part of your head.
That is a point.
That's
I
part
like
of your
that point.
face.
So
Is
like,
your face not on your head?
so like you wouldn't call this whole thing above your neck like your head?
Damn it. I've been got.
You know those commercials where they like transplant hair follicles from your butt to your head and it gives you more hair?
You know, like Bosley hair for men, whatever
yeah,
that thing.
can you do that but for your beard?
Wait,
Say-
how much hair is like on your butt?
whoa.
There are follicles
How
there.
much hair
Like a
is on
hairy
your
butt?
butt?
Apparently not as much as some of us on the show.
I think that's where
I
they
feel
get
like
it from.
it's pretty normal to have hair on your butt if you don't have any.
Like, how much hair are we talking? It's getting out of control now.
Can you get butt hair insurance?
Look, you can get insurance for anything you want. Really.
I mean,
Except
like,
for jail
there
insurance,
are-
you have a huge problem with for
there
some
are
reason.
there are totally like athletes that have insurance, like a quarterback has like insurance on his arm or something. Like that's totally a thing.
And celebrities have insurance too.
Maybe
Like-
yeah.
Like production companies definitely have insurance.
Oh,
on
I
their
mean, like
celebrities.
there's totally insurance for like, hey, we're filming a new Fast and Furious movie. We're gonna get insurance on Vin Diesel in case he gets injured during a stunt and he can't finish the movie.
So why can't you just Vin Diesel
like,
have
you're saying
insurance?
somebody made out on Paul Walker then.
Yeah.
So like the studio definitely got paid when Paul Walker died in the middle of shooting that movie,
Right.
for sure, because it.
Well, they probably took out like some chunk of
Yeah,
probably
there
health
was
insurance or some sort of
there
insurance.
was insurance. I
No,
mean, like
they have insurance.
I mean, like I guess
Right.
because I'm not sure because it didn't happen on set, but
It
like
did happen during the filming. It was on a break.
it was definitely during filming. It wasn't on set, but like I think that if somebody dies
like on your set.
like during filming and that causes you to incur a bunch of costs that like you wouldn't have otherwise, like I think that they probably insured against that.
Right. Well, I mean, they definitely did. They had to do rewrites, right? So
Yeah, well, like it definitely costs more. I don't know if they got insurance money from it. Probably though.
I'm sure they did.
I'm sure. Yeah.
They did, and it was a $50 million insurance
Yeah.
claim.
damn.
Ooh.
I mean, movies are fucking expensive to shoot.
So do you think that raises the rates? The $50 million view, like
It might.
I feel like it's got to raise your rates.
The Rock's bill went up.
The rocks, you got to insure
Maybe.
the rock now. Now it's more.
Huh.
Because insurance is in there to make. They're there to make money. They're not there to give you money.
Right.
Well, obviously,
Well, like,
it's a
so the real
business.
question is, yeah, on the star insurance, how many times has somebody actually filed?
What do you think the premium is to get $50 million insurance? Like, are you paying like $50 a month? Or
$50 a month sounds pretty reasonable.
okay, good.
Well, it's super high. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, let's say it's obviously not the same thing, but like if every major cast member is insured for $50 million, but there's like 12 major cast members, then
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
sure
like, I
that
bet
Paul
you
Walker
got-
was the most.
I'm
or,
like, I bet
behind
you
Vin
got
and
like
Rock.
Vin, The Rock, and Paul Walker at about 50 million. Then you got like Tyrese and Luda
Yeah.
at about like 20, and then you got like Michelle Rodriguez at like 5. Like you're
man.
kind of like working
Oh,
your way
man.
Put some
down.
hard stats on
I'm
these
just
guys
telling-
right
Whoa,
now.
I'm just-
Michelle Rodriguez is
I'm just-
like a big piece now. She
I'm just
can't-
I'm just real talk here. I don't know.
Statham definitely was more than Michelle Rodriguez.
Oh,
What
yeah.
about
Statham
Tokyo
was up
Drift
there.
Alabama
but
guy?
like the studio that's doing is it Universal. That's
Yeah,
doing Fast and
Universal,
Furious?
yeah.
Like, they're not like all that invested in. He like something happens to him. They're like, well, let's just do some rewrites. If he wasn't really ever in the movie, anyways.
Yeah, it depends on how like dependent on him the movie was.
Right. I mean,
Because if
Yeah.
like scripts done and they're shooting it,
Yeah, yeah.
like they have their
And he's,
schedule
like-
all planned out and they have locations booked and all that shit. Like it would be a huge pain to rewrite the movie.
I don't think that they paid like significantly different for stars. I feel like they like pay a flat rate per person, and then depending on how big the celebrity is, they pay out proportionally.
yeah. So you think it like follows like
well, I
the,
just
like,
think that
A-list
it's-
sort of like kind of usage there.
So I feel like it's just based on like if that person was unable to perform anymore, how much would it cost like for this movie?
Yeah, I mean that's how much you get paid out if something happens. But how much do you pay in?
So that's what the premium is based on, though.
Right. So they select obviously like their premium, right? Like they're like, hey, we need like for Paul, we need the $50 million premium because like if he dies, like it's a problem.
It's really expensive, yeah.
Right. But like this other person, while they might be a big actor, like A-list or B-list actor, they're not an integral piece of the movie. So it's we're not going to take out a $50 million premium, right? That's probably how that works.
No, exactly. Yeah.
What sort of claim would you file for The Rock?
What does that mean?
I mean, he's a pretty integral part of that movie now.
How much money would you expect to be paid if The Rock died?
$1 billion.
That is the
I
only
feel
correct
like
answer.
society would need to get paid. There's like a lot of people
It's true.
that
Get
would be
paid their
missing-
dues.
missing the Rock.
So like, is the Rock still part of WWE? He is, right?
no,
He's not. I thought he
He's
was still
on
doing
occasionally.
some-
yeah, he's on there sometimes.
But like the WWE still like owns the rights to a lot of like the Rock like brand.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. We talked about this already.
Yeah, I mean, he's on
We
the
don't
cover
know
of the video game,
We don't know
for sure,
who
right?
owns The Rock, or if the WWE is allowing Dwayne Johnson to use The Rock. We don't really know.
It all comes back to this topic.
Damn it.
All right, so should we
And
actually talk about the show
The,
now or something?
the name of
I
this
agree.
episode was The Feast and the Furious.
It's true.
So it's not totally
I feel like that's just the Rock's side project.
The Feast and the Furious. That's just what The Rock calls breakfast. Like,
That's called
Every
Pancake
day.
Cheat Day.
yeah.
So, Chris, tell us a little bit more about the show.
So the show started out as a YouTube channel, which most of you probably already know. There's 4 guys. Now the show starts with 4 guys and 1 girl,
Yep.
and they like start the show by making breakfast.
Hold on. Can we back it up to that for a second?
I mean, we can't. I was just gonna spend like 30 seconds going over what happens in the show. Then we can back it up to whatever.
Give him a 30.
Okay. I'll give you a 30.
And then the girl tells the guys that, hey, you guys are Canadian. You're in America now. You have to speak American. And then they go to a speech therapist, which was actually quite funny, much funnier than I thought it was going to be. And then after they have a client at a used car sales place, used car
lot.
sales lot.
Yeah.
And they make an epic meal on a car and try to drive it into this epic car lot, and it dies. And then they have to push it. So it was pretty funny. And they didn't really go into much what was on the car or anything. So,
Just a lot of meat and stuff.
yep. It was a
So
car
the way I
covered
framed
in
this,
food.
Like, whole episode to me, I don't know how you guys felt about it. I know you had something there. We'll come back to that. This just felt like a really long YouTube video with a couple of random segments kind of thrown in as filler. Did you guys get that vibe?
I mean, it's probably only because you've seen the Epic Mealtime YouTube videos.
no,
though.
but it was just like, all right, here's our show. We're gonna make a bunch of shit, and we're gonna make it in really big, crazy quantities, and do crazy things like put cupcakes and pizza, and then we're gonna like just have a couple of filler segments. But that's the show.
Yeah,
Like,
that is the show.
That sounds like
The-
what they said it
the,
was
like,
going to be.
The idea of the show is that now the Epic Mealtime guys have started a catering company, and like there are people who hire them to make something. So like, there's this used car dealership like, we want to have customer appreciation day, make a car or something, and then they brainstorm on it, and then they make an insane
I'm gonna
thing.
throw this out there. I feel like it was staged.
Oh, you think?
Oh,
I don't think that used car guy gave a shit about hiring these guys.
Oh, you don't think so?
You think Natalie was lying to us about that?
Dude, I'm telling you, the producers roll up like, yo, we got this like group of dudes. They just want to make a bunch of shit. Like, we're just gonna film the show. We'll pay you some money, and you just act like you wanted to hire them. That's how this show came to be.
No, obviously.
I feel like, I mean, this is LA. There's probably all those people could be actors.
Yeah.
Are you
Like-
telling me that guy didn't appreciate his customers?
Probably not.
I mean, like,
I don't even. Firstly, how do you have a customer appreciation days for a used car lot? You have that customer once every like 10 years, maybe.
You
Well,
just,
no, you just sell
invite
them
people,
shitty cars and they keep coming back.
Why would they come back?
You
They need
just
a car.
like invite people who recently bought cars at your dealership to come back and.
I feel like that's a thing, like Customer Appreciation Day for dealerships.
For dealerships?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not sure if you've ever seen that episode of King of the Hill where Hank talks about how he's bought, his cars from the same guy at the same car dealership since he's 16 for his entire life. So that's what this guy's trying to set up, right?
No.
Wasn't he getting ripped off?
He was getting ripped off every time.
No. He was paying sticker value, not a penny more.
Not
okay?
a penny more, and he thought he was getting a great deal. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have seen that one. I've
Yeah.
seen like 10 episodes of
Yeah.
that show.
Great show.
Which show?
King of the Hill.
Ah,
You okay there?
You awake, Max?
I'm awake. I just thought you said Keenan, and I didn't know Keenan had his own show without Kel.
Oh, man.
That would make a really good guest appearance, maybe.
On this
Cartoon
podcast?
Keenan.
Yeah, Keenan would be
obviously,
great on this podcast.
We would have Keenan anytime Keenan wants to be a part of the podcast. You're
We,
more than welcome, Keenan.
We should have asked Kel during his Reddit AMA this past week if he would be on our show.
We definitely should have done that.
Oh, God.
We should
Drop-
get on this asking people on the AMAs if they want to be on our podcast.
Oh, hey, Edward Snowden. You want to be on our podcast?
That'd be
That'd be
great.
amazing.
Yeah.
The
Edward Snowden, have you seen 90 Day Fiance?
Do you think Snowden watches reality shows?
Do you think Edward Snowden
He's got
watches
it.
24?
He's not he's just holed up somewhere in Moscow, like not doing anything, right?
He's
Nah.
watching a lot of TV.
He's reading.
He actually has a job at a computer company there, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, someone to occupy his time.
Interesting.
All right, so back to this girl that they introduced.
Now-
Yeah. So here's the weird thing. There's this random girl, and she's not really in any of the promo shots, and she wasn't on the YouTube series and like any of this stuff. So like, you're kind of watching all these kind of setup shots for in the intro, and it's just like these four guys broing out, cooking food, whatever, being ridiculous, and then they kind of do these sort of profile like these like
in the credits, they have.
yeah, they do this profile shots like Harley, and then he's pouring whiskey in his mouth or whatever, and then it has all the guys doing ridiculous stuff, and then it gets to the girl, Michelle. Is that her name?
Natalie.
I was close. So
Nope.
So it's
you weren't even in the same ballpark.
so
It was a
it's
woman's
Natalie,
name?
That's true. What was the girl's name?
and ends in an E. Yes. Anyway, so Natalie, right? So Natalie comes up in this thing, and it's like Natalie, and she just kind of gives this disapproving look. She's like, I don't know about these guys, kind of look.
So like, you guys.
Yeah, and you totally know that the network is just like, hey, you need a girl in this thing to like level this thing out, because you're four dudes being really ridiculous all the time. You need a girl to be reasonable and level it out, which I really don't appreciate. Like,
Yeah, every segment, every time she like talks, it's like, oh my god, this is like very strained between the girl and any like.
Well,
people
the
to talk
best
to.
is the first scene after the credits was the first scene like she was really in. She didn't talk, and we were wondering if she just didn't talk the whole show and just was there.
Oh man.
That would have been great.
But then she started talking later in the show.
Like,
It was very disappointed.
and it's like a super bummer because like there are like so many like funny like women like comedians and actors and stuff like that like would be good on that kind of a thing, but it's like they totally just have her play that like stereotypical like women trying to wrangle in the boys, and it's like I don't know.
I feel like that's a pretty common trope in
Yeah.
reality shows. I know on Discovery Channel there's this show about like two guys going around collecting old Americana, and they have this like cute secretary back at the base wrangling them, telling them where their next job is.
damn.
Yeah, totally. It's real fake.
Yeah.
Just like the like client stuff.
Or like
is just
you
fucking-
see like same thing on like morning like radio shows, be like two crazy guys, and there's like the girl that's kind of reeling them back in sort of thing, and it's I don't know.
It's kind of like when we have Max on the show.
I was just about to say, do we need one of these women on our,
I feel
our
like
show?
we could use one.
Are we guys just broing out and being crazy, and we need someone to reel us in?
Hey,
Let's not fall into the same pit holes. Pit
you know
traps.
how the Epic Mealtime guys
Oh,
got
so-
famous?
You two.
Was Natalie involved?
She was not.
There we go.
That said, Natalie did bring us to what was a big highlight of the show for me, which was the voice coach.
Yep.
That was surprisingly
like,
funny.
do you think that was actually Natalie's idea, or she's just
No.
the facilitator
Oh, no,
that makes
no.
it happen?
That was
right?
obviously the producers.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. She was really just ripping on the Canadian accent. A whole lot.
Like, I'm not trying to hate that big on Natalie. She's probably a fine
yeah,
person.
boyo.
But like the thing that
You hate what she represents.
I hate what she represents.
just got to be you.
I would bet
Just be you.
if we looked up this Natalie on IMDb, she's been in other failed TV shows before.
Potentially.
Are you saying this is a failed TV show?
like
It is in season 2, so maybe not.
the
FYI Network knows what to do it.
So wait, was this season 2, episode 2, or season 1?
This was
Season
season
one.
1,
Yeah.
but there is a season 2.
Okay, that's why I
So-
was confused.
I feel like one of the things that made a lot of their early YouTube videos really great is it just felt like this really kind of like raw thing. It's just like there's these guys who are just making ridiculous food, and then they bring all their friends over and just like eat the shit out of it. And it's like, you know, it like it felt more kind of like real.
Yeah.
It was certainly way more real than this.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. They're willing, like, you know, a trashy cart down the road with pizzas hanging off the side of it. I'm like, what's the point of this? This is dumb.
They didn't even really go into much of the process about the car. Like, it was just like, well, we're going to kind of explain what's going on
Yeah.
and have, like, some montage, and then we're going to show you the car for, like, a second.
Yeah, like-
and then people are going to eat it, and it's going to be, like, a 4-minute thing.
Yeah, they didn't show, like, any of the actual prep of any of the food that went on the car, really.
yeah.
A
Kinda
little
skipped
bit.
over that.
A
I feel
little
like
bit, but not a lot.
the epic mealtime part of this is the least fun part.
Yeah.
Just watching them doing their thing. That's fun.
Yeah.
Oh, the one-liners were great. I loved, like, when he was sitting on the couch just reading lines.
Oh, yeah.
That was
yeah.
great.
So
Shrimp my ride.
oh, sure, my ride. So I've previously seen one other episode of the show, and I feel like they kind of had a little more detail on the food. So like in the other one I saw, the Chris Hardwick, the guy that does At Midnight, is that Comedy Central, I guess. He wanted to do like an appreciation thing for his staff, so he hired quote unquote the Epic Mealtime guys to go and like make like a thing for their staff. So they decided that they were going to make a bunch of foods based on like internet memes and stuff, because that's kind of all what that show's about. So they made like an internet meme fridge. So like they kind of the same thing as the car. They took a fridge and they kind of like wrapped it in some kind of food and then put like a bunch of like internet meme stuff in there. And like they definitely like showed them kind of sitting around coming up with like the jokes and like the ideas for like the different pieces of food in that one, more so than they did in this one.
Yeah, this one they spent, like, there was a couple good ones, and mostly they were trying to come up with a name for the car, which was not funny. Like, no. It's very hit and miss.
But the Feast and the Furious was a good name,
That
it
was
was.
good.
That was the only good name.
which is why they picked that.
I
name.
feel like Shrimp My Ride was
There were no shrimps on it, though.
that's the
Sure.
problem.
He really missed the mark on the shrimp end of the ride.
It was interesting that, like, it's kind of what we talked about, where, you know, there was the part of making the cars kind of like a YouTube video, and they don't have 22 minutes worth of content. So they had to do this other thing, the whole like language coach part. But it's weirdly that turned out to be good and wasn't just like boring filler.
Yeah.
But like it wasn't really the
Yeah.
setup. It was more just that these guys are like seem to be pretty funny and kind of coming with one-liners, and they like made it work.
like you kind of just want to watch those guys sit around and just bullshit, you know.
Like Natalie is getting fed her lines from the producers, but it seems like these guys are actually just, you know, doing their own thing.
Right, yeah.
I'm curious to actually if they have some writers on the show. Like, they're definitely coming with some great one-liners, and I don't know if the four of them are actually the ones coming up with them.
like, to be honest, this show seems so low budget that I can't imagine that they're like hiring writers outside of themselves. Like, that'd be crazy, right? And if you've watched Epic Mealtime on YouTube, they have like similarly ridiculous one-liners, you know.
I mean, I've watched. I mean, but there's a difference between a 4-minute like YouTube show to have a couple good one-liners in it to a 22-minute like 20-episode season.
That's
and
true.
Having
Yeah.
good
Definitely not a
one-liners
20-episode season.
or whatever. I don't know how many it is. Like having multiple episodes, 20 minutes long, like that's a completely different ballgame
Yeah, you're right.
in terms of writing.
Side note, Epic Meal guys, if you ever want to bullshit about some TV, come on over.
Oh yeah, that'd be.
Shout out
well,
to them.
they're Canadian. Are they? Where are they? Oh, well, they're in LA now, I guess. But
Well, they're in LA for filming the show. I don't know if they like moved to LA or if they just were there to like film the show. And
yeah, where are they from in Canada? I wonder. I don't know.
I don't know.
Let's look it up.
I would
Why
totally
did-
have a beer and some pizza.
Why did they have to move to LA though?
Because that's what the FYI Network is.
Yeah,
That's where you
it's just
make
easier to
TV,
shoot that
Chris.
show in L.A.
That's how you make TV. Like move to LA. Step one.
That's probably
This-
also
this-
like how like all these things where people are hiring them is like the FYI Network was like, hey, we got the Epic Mealtime guys. Let's go like find some people and encourage them to like do this.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, you guys think? I think it could be real. That's like car dealership wanted them to come in. Like, it could be producers
Nah.
calling a
Once
car
the
dealership
show-
and saying like, "Hey, we'll throw you a customer appreciation day. We'll bring all the food. You just like bring customers or whatever."
Yeah, I think that's more likely.
I mean, I mean that guy could have totally been the owner of that car dealership. Like, I don't. That doesn't seem outside the realm of possibility.
I believe he's the owner
I'm
of
not
the-
saying the guy was fake. I'm just
Yeah.
saying that like him trying to hire these
Oh, no.
ridiculous group of people
They were
to do
they
whatever.
definitely cold call those people like to see if they want to do it.
they totally
Like,
reached out.
hey, we're gonna pay you some money. We're gonna bring this food, and you can like frame it however you want. Probably some kind of customer appreciation day,
Yeah.
whatever, just as an idea. And
No.
then we're just gonna roll up. you
Yeah, I
know?
mean, like, they totally just reached out to a bunch of different people to fill out the season. I mean, like, when they did, like, the At Midnight thing, like, one of the producers on the show probably knew one of the people over there. And it's like, should we do this? All right. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
Okay, so I've looked up Natalie's IMDb. How many credits do you think she has?
one.
at least one.
7.
6.
176. What did you say?
I'll say 3 total, including Epic Meal. With
Wait,
Empire.
is this Price is Right rules?
Doesn't matter. James wins because it's 4.
Okay.
Boom.
So it's Epic Meal Empire, America's Best Bites, where she is herself hostess, Home and Family, where she is herself guest, and the AOF channel, where she is herself.
What is the AOF channel?
I have no idea.
Okay.
What do we
There
think
is-
what
AOF
networks
stands
are these
for?
shows?
There is no description for the AOF channel.
America's only
Family.
family channel. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be the AOFC though?
Were those
Sure.
second and third shows also on the FYI Network?
I don't know.
Say.
The IMDb is not telling me
Not
So-
giving me
anything
that.
about
She's
these
just
shows.
like
Here's the
house
thing.
talent.
Do you think that the car dealership was just as fake as the bully beatdown, like bully segment? Like the bully was so like super fake.
So, all right. So I bet that the car dealership was real. I bet that that guy actually owned it. I
Yeah.
bet that the customers were not actually like customers. They just like brought in people.
There's extras. Yeah.
I bet you that they were the employees of the car dealership.
That's a possibility too.
And
They
some
didn't fit the
like
bill for that to me.
there were definitely
Yeah.
some really hot chicks there. So like
They were probably just randos
They're just
they got off the
extras. Like,
street.
Yeah, I
like
think
it
that-
is.
I mean, like,
it
it's
is
easy in
so.
LA.
It is
Like-
so inexpensive to hire extras in LA. Like they're just extras
Yeah.
no, I'm sure.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just extras. I totally think that guy's like a real dealership, and like that's the owner. That's fine. I have no problem with that. I'm just saying that like it wasn't his idea to do any of this. They just like called him over, like, hey, here's like we got an idea to do a show. Do you want to be on this thing?
Yeah, it's basically like, hey, we want to use your location,
Right.
and will you be on this thing?
right, and we'll like
And
bring
we'll take
food
care of
and
the
pay you some
entire
money.
thing, yeah.
Natalie has a real in-depth IMDb biography.
Okay.
Certainly not written by her.
Certainly not.
Does she have a website?
It doesn't say here. I'm sure she does. Do you want me to go and start reading this thing?
Well, we
Yes.
don't know
Give
what
me
to
the
do with-
highlights,
we
Rob.
don't
I'm
know
on
what
the
to
edge
do
of
with
my
this
seat.
information.
So America's Best Bites was on the Cooking Channel. She's a quote-unquote food magician.
What does that
As
even
like
mean?
a chef or a cook or just as a
It's
host?
that she eats it. She makes the food disappear when she eats it.
Whoa.
Oh,
In middle
buddy.
school, Natalie was rewarded with an entire peanut butter pie if she brought home a good report card. That there's no additional context to that. That's
Great.
just a random sentence.
That's all you got.
That's great.
Holy crap!
Yeah,
She's
she
a
definitely
broadcast
didn't write
journalism
this.
degree. She's on a mission to find must-eat bites from New York to L.A. Oh, this is the America's Best Bites show. Viewers can catch a glimpse of Natalie's quote-unquote real deal personality and southern charm.
Wow.
Okay.
Man.
I'm glad I know that now.
So she defines herself as Southern charm, and then in the same text has a problem with like the way Canadians talk.
Yep.
I guess most Southerners maybe. I don't know.
Well, she's got the real southern charm. She
The
wants
thing
to
is-
Yeah,
bring
she's
people to her
xenophobic,
side.
just like any good Southerner.
Oh, Max.
Yeah, like that. You know, the segment on like the voice coach thing ended up being funny, but like the whole thing of like, you guys have Canadian accents, I'm gonna fix you, was kind of like, I don't
That
know.
was I rolled my eyes
Yeah,
pretty hard during
yeah.
There's
that.
a real problem with people saying pasta.
Yeah,
Pasta.
I feel like that's something somebody from Boston would say.
What was that?
That's
line
what I
of,
was
like,
thinking. Like,
the
are they from Boston? Like, how is?
canasta thing? That was great.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with that line.
Like the-
is that a real sentence somebody says? Like,
Yeah.
No, like
No,
they were
They were
the
reading
voice-
lines
Yeah.
that are bring out their Canadian accents.
The voice coach gave them things to read that would bring out their Canadian accents.
Yeah, that was great.
So where does this place in the best worst category?
Oh boy.
Is this like in the middle of the pack?
It's probably upper third for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd put it there too.
I would say mid-high. It wasn't very reality, but it was pretty fun to watch.
Like we were actually laughing out loud at it.
Yeah.
Which is even like funny shows sometimes that doesn't happen, and you're like, oh, that was a good show, but you didn't actually laugh. This one we actually laugh.
Yeah, I have
Do
no interest to watch.
What do you
any more of the
think?
show.
Like, if you had to say this was the best blank kind of show, like about the show, what would it be?
The best blank.
Like it
Or
was
what
like
was
the best
of the
comedy
show?
reality show, or like
It
had the
probably-
best one-liner show. Like,
It probably had like the funniest people of any show we've seen. Like I'm not sure that anyone's actually been super funny in the other. I mean,
I feel like the people were funny, but the show
credit
itself was not. very
credit
funny.
due to Gilbert Gottfried. You know, I'm not going to take anything away from that guy.
Oh man,
Like, but
Oh, man.
This is probably the best.
I like that.
This is probably the best Amish show we've watched. Have you seen those beards?
best beards, yeah.
Best reality comedy Amish show.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen the episode of Epic Meal Time where they are gonna make this like fast food lasagna, and they essentially like just drive around all these fast food restaurants in Canada and order like a shit ton of food? Like he rolls up to like McDonald's and he's like, "I'll have 50 Big Macs and a side of Big Mac sauce," and like he rolls around all these places and does like.
Well, I feel like the Big Mac thing is like used a few times because I know I've seen a separate episode that wasn't
Yeah.
a lasagna thing where like they roll to McDonald's like, I'm gonna need 180 Big Macs and
Yeah.
like 10 gallons of Big Mac sauce. I'm like, sir, we can't give you that much Big Mac
Yeah.
sauce.
and like he's trying to order through the drive-through, not even inside, and it's just amazing.
Like that's so totally the thing where like you like talk to the manager or something. You're not like going through a drive-through.
That's what's funny though.
Oh no, it was funny. I give him that. I give him that.
I think I've only really seen the one where they make the meat pizza.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah, they like take out like 10 pounds of hamburger and like put it down as like the.
Yeah.
That was pretty good, and like there's a lot of bacon, lots of bacon.
There's always so much bacon.
You can buy shirts that say bacon strips and bacon strips
Yeah.
and bacon strips now.
Okay, show idea. You get the Epic Meal Time guys to cook some ridiculous thing, and then you get Man vs. Food guy to try to eat it.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Man.
Oh, man, I
So
feel like
how
I've
fat do you want to
seen-
make this guy?
I mean, he had to stop, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I
But-
feel
That's
like
the thing I've seen though.
Man versus Mealtime.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that was like on his show. I think he like invited the Epic Mealtime guys.
Really?
I'd believe it.
I
That
feel like I've
exists?
s- yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like I feel like
We
I'm gonna-
probably need
I'm
to
jumping
find
out on a
this.
ledge here. I'm gonna do a little digging. Let's see if I'll find it.
All right.
In the next couple of days here.
All right.
do you think it would be sustainable for a person to be like, okay, we're gonna film one of those like Man vs. Food like a week, and like during the week all you're doing is like working out, like out all the food you just like.
Well, I think
consumed?
that's what he was doing when he was doing that. Like,
I don't
was,
think he was.
I,
man.
I was like reading some interview, and like he like made it part of his contract that like in all of his hotel rooms he had to have like a treadmill and stuff like that, so he could actually like work it out after.
Yeah, but like the thing was, I think that they were filming those things like they were trying to film it as fast as possible. So they would go to one town, eat the food, and then
Oh,
you'd
yeah.
roll over. They would like film an episode in like 3 days and then move to the next town.
Wow. That's
Like
pretty
I
nuts.
guarantee you, he didn't have a lot of time to work out.
Yeah, but
Whether
I mean,
they said he had a hotel room or whatever.
I mean, like to be honest, if you get like a couple days break from like a food challenge to food challenge, like that's enough time to kind of get
sure.
hungry
But I,
again.
tell,
Well, also,
I
with
don't
a food
think
challenge,
he
you
did.
want to keep expanding your stomach too, right? You don't want to just like, not eat crazy for a month because then you're not gonna be able to do it. Like it's all about like repetition.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you also want to lose because it's a show and you want it to be entertaining.
Yeah.
I wonder like what prompted him to stop actually doing the challenges. Do you think his doctor was like,
Yeah.
"Hey man, you can't do this anymore,"
yeah.
or
We can
Yeah.
only pump your stomach so many times.
yeah? Well, because like if you guys have seen that documentary Super Size Me,
Yep.
like where the dude eats McDonald's every day for a month kind of thing. Like at the end of it, his doctor's like, "You need to stop doing this because like your liver's messed up and you're gonna die if you keep doing this kind of thing."
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to supersize it.
Gotta supersize it.
I wonder if it was that, or I wonder if he just started like having like serious indigestion problems, and like he'd like do a show, and then his stomach would feel terrible for 3 days. He's just like, this is becoming a problem.
For Man vs. Food.
Well, yeah. I mean, you start getting like chest cramps and stuff. You're like, I should probably stop doing
If
this.
you're getting chest pains, it's probably time to stop.
Well, you could tell like throughout the seasons he was putting on some weight too. Like he was like definitely, I don't know. It's,
Quite tangent here.
I like watched one episode where there was like a cheesesteak challenge and it was like a 6-pound cheesesteak. And I'm like, how the fuck can you eat that?
It's crazy.
It's amazing.
6 pound like of steak or like
6 pounds of meat. And
right,
then
not
it's-
even counting the cheese.
And then it's plus the cheese and the
man.
bread.
Bread.
That
Yeah.
cheese is
and the
thick.
fry. Was there fries?
Now there are no. It was just a sandwich for this one.
Okay. There's always like,
Yeah.
eat this 8 pounds of food and then another 10 pounds of fries.
Well, it's like when he did the challenge at Best Cafe here, like he did that 12 egg omelet thing, but it's like 12 egg omelet and you got to finish all the hash browns, and it's like fuck.
That's
yeah, it's
way
like
too much.
3 pounds of hash browns or something stupid.
He got within like 1 or 2 bites of finishing that Beth's Cafe challenge and couldn't put it down.
I don't think I've actually seen that one.
Oh really? It's great.
I don't have cable, so like watching
He
these
did.
shows is a problem.
Like, Brody, he went to Best Cafe. He went to Crab Pot, like it's like down by the waterfront somewhere else, I think.
Too bad you don't have any forum where you can watch reality shows and
Yeah.
info about them.
Well, maybe we should do Man vs. Food. We should probably find the Epic Meal Time one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to see this thing. I'm pretty sure.
Sure.
I feel like it's this thing. I don't know.
So this is our second FYI Network show. What would it do if a show combined Married at First Sight and Epic Meal Empire into one show?
I mean, I would totally watch a show where Harley gets married at first sight. That'd be fucking great. That'd be a great show.
What if
To,
Harley
the
and Natalie
single.
had gotten married at first sight?
Oh,
And
man.
started a show?
I was just thinking the
they would have
same
been
thing.
divorced at first
That
sight? I
would be
think.
so wonderful.
What does Dr. Pepper think of that?
What
Married
would
at First Sight, for people who know each other already but don't know each other is going on the show, would be so good.
so? What would that one girl who saw that dude and was like super disgusted's like reaction be if Harley was standing there?
Does she know it's Harley of Epic Meal
No,
fame?
no.
Or is
She just sees it's an insane looking guy and a huge beard.
Do you think she cares that he's like, Epic Mealtime guy? Or is just further grossed out?
That's a great question.
I don't know if that helps the situation. I'm
I-
a super famous YouTuber.
I think she walks. I think she doesn't go through with it.
Yeah, I think it's a real possibility.
I don't know, man. She married the guy with that other guy
Yeah.
with the
I would
crazy
say
mole.
Harley's way better looking than that other guy.
The crazy mole and the thinning hair. I feel like the Epic Meal Nation guy's got a one up on that one. I don't know.
Maybe.
It might be a toss up. I don't really have any expertise in this area, so
We
I can't
gotta
really
get-
say.
We got to get Dr. Pepper on this podcast and answer these questions.
Should probably spend the next 20 minutes analyzing the guy's hotness on these shows.
Well,
So he's got the pecs, but I don't know.
I don't
Put
know.
this on Hot or Not edition.
Yeah,
None of them took their
God.
shirt off, so I don't really know. I mean, you gotta really
got to pop the shirt off to really tell, right?
You gotta pop the pecs, really.
So do they need to go on a dating naked episode first?
Yeah.
Before the
How about
Married at
dating?
Second Sight?
How about married naked at first sight, epically or epic naked married at? I don't know.
I
I
don't know
feel
how
like
you
you
make
just
it
want
epic
Epic
food.
Meal Empire where they're all naked.
No,
Oh,
I
God,
definitely don't
don't
want
want
that. That is not a thing I want. I mean, I wouldn't. Natalie. I mean, we just focus on her a lot, maybe, and not focus on anyone else. Kick everyone else off the show, then we'll consider it.
I think you could totally make a getting married naked show.
What is getting married naked? It's married
At
at first
first
sight,
sight.
and you're naked.
Getting married naked at first
At
sight.
first sight, okay.
Doesn't really roll off the tongue super well. Gotta work on the name.
Yep.
Epic.
Married naked at first sight.
Instead of dating, you just get married.
No, it's married naked at first sight.
Married.
Where's
naked at
epic?
first sight.
You need to get the epic in there.
No, that's just, this is we're dropping that. Nobody wants
It's a
that.
new show.
Nobody wants that show.
Married Naked at First Sight Junior.
You can't. You gotta leave the kids out of this, Max. It's not okay. Oh man.
What if the junior just means they're like 18? I feel
Is
like
there any
that could work.
MasterChef Junior still going on? That show was pretty good.
That
Yeah.
movie was fucking terrible.
No,
Stop
the one you
saying
watched
that.
was bad. I watched some more. It was pretty good.
Yeah, so there's that season that they started the new season right after the other one finished. I don't
Yeah.
know if that one's done or not, though.
That
I'm
one
pretty
was
sure
pretty
it's
good.
done.
It was pretty exciting. Those kids were making their own sausages from scratch. That was fucking impressive.
Yeah. Has anyone else watched anything else interesting lately?
I saw Hot Tub Time Machine 2.
How was that?
That was it was bad, but I thought it was pretty funny. I laughed a lot, which I was expecting it not to be great. So I went in pleasantly surprised about how funny it was.
It sounds like it's the same as Epic Meal Empire for you.
Kind of. There's probably pretty similarities between the two.
Did the movie suffer from not having John Cusack in it this time?
Yeah, there isn't a grounding character.
Well, I thought Adam Scott was in this, right?
He is, but he doesn't. He's another weird guy. He's not
He's not Parks and Rec Adam Scott. He's Adam Scott from Step Brothers.
So douchebag Adam Scott?
No, he's
He was
more
not
of
douchebag?
Party down,
super
Adam Scott?
naive, doesn't know what's going on kind of character.
Okay.
He goes around and oh, drugs, I should try drugs, and he doesn't really. He's just kind of.
Wait, so was he on the adventure of going with them in the hot tub and
No.
traveling through time?
So they go in the hot tub to the future, and then his character is supposed to be the son of John Cusack, and they meet him because they're looking for John Cusack's character or something. It was really dumb, and I feel like they just played with it. They were yeah, this is John Cusack's son. Oh, we're gonna leave. You're gonna come with us, and that was pretty much the scene.
Huh.
Oh, but he did come with them
Yeah.
on other hot tub time
okay.
machine adventures.
There's only one adventurer, so
Okay.
the advertising makes it seem like they go back to
the trailer made it seem like
they went back to that was just the end, the end they were
See, I was wondering when I saw the trailer how they were going to wrap up all those storylines because it seemed like they kept on popping out of the hot tub. It's now we got to fight the Revolutionary War. Now we got to do this. Now we got to do that.
Yeah, it was kind of in 22 Jump Street where at the end they were just putting up all the 23 Jump Street.
The ending of 22 Jump Street was amazing.
Yeah, it was really great.
That was a real good movie.
Are you guys aware of the plans for the next Jump Street movie?
Well, I'm thinking I'm
Are
work
there?
the plan for the next 20 because the ending of 22 Jump Street.
This is a real thing from when the Sony shit leaked. They want to merge Jump Street and Men in Black.
What?
I am completely serious.
So-
With Will Smith or just Channing Tatum is now a Men in Black?
They want. I don't really remember the details, but they wanted to.
So you get Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones in the mix.
I don't think that they were just merging universes. They weren't
No, it's
merging.
It's not Will Smith. It's Jaden and Willow.
No.
No, man,
Oh,
Will Smith
God.
to be in it. He's just gonna jump for the bushes at the beginning.
that would be a great cameo.
He can't show any emotion anymore, so that they're
That
going
was
to
a
bring.
different movie.
They're going to bring in some After Earth into this too.
Well, don't do that.
Yeah, that's it.
You killed it. You killed it.
I know.
I'm kind of undecided on Will Smith's new movie. There's trailers for it now.
Yeah, it's called Focus.
Focus.
After I saw the commercial for the 30th time, I finally learned what the name was.
Yeah, it's the Con movie.
It's really unclear what the movie is.
I feel like it's a.
Seems
con.
like he's a con man, right?
I'm not lost on him. I feel like he realizes that he's been a real piece of crap lately, and he needs
Will
to,
Smith should
step
just
it
buy
up.
the rights to Independence Day so that he can just make Independence Day 2 the way he wants.
He's not. He
I-
doesn't want to be in it. Why would he buy it?
Will Smith didn't write or direct or anything to do with Independence Day except for being in it. So Will Smith does not have a vision for Independence Day 2.
He delivered on those lines. I'm just saying.
He delivered the lines that someone else wrote.
But he delivered on it.
Sure. No, I'm not going to sit here and argue against Will Smith's
He didn't
performance in
deliver.
Independence Day.
Right.
No one would do that.
Right. But you can't have Independence Day 2 without Will Smith in that
Obviously
thing.
not.
And Jeff Goldblum.
Is that Roland Emmerich? Did he do Independence Day?
Yeah.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was the first one.
And Will Smith is not planning on being in Independence Day 2.
Which is bullshit.
Jackass. Fucking shit.
You know, it'd be cool for ID2. Do you remember
ID 4 too.
Wasn't it I4D?
something
No.
like that?
Wait, what? What's the 4?
It was on
It's for
July
the
4th,
July.
Independence Day.
Yeah, the original movie is ID4.
Independence
this-
Day.
I remember
is-
around
4? That's weird.
2008, Clint Eastwood and some other guy released Flags of Our Fathers and some other movie, which were the same battle, but one was on the American side and one was the Japanese side.
Right.
That's what Independence Day 2 should be. It should be what's the alien point of view.
I love that idea.
That would be
Oh.
amazing.
That's a great idea.
So it's the same exact movie, but all just different perspectives.
Maybe it also moves on the story a little bit, but that would
I
be
don't-
real
I'd be
cool.
fine with it just being the same exact story.
Just from the aliens'
It's like
point
the
of
end
view.
of it is like the aliens looking at Will Smith just smoking a cigar in their spaceship. Like,
I,
and then they just blow up.
Wow.
I'm not sure I would watch that. I can't imagine that
watch
being like, how do I sympathize with the aliens at that point?
I mean, well, Will
And
Smith
like,
kicks
how
him in
do
the
I
face and
feel
says, "Welcome to
when
Earth."
if I'm sympathize with the aliens and then they all get blown up? Like, what am I supposed to feel?
Yeah. And
You're supposed to feel sad.
I was originally thinking like maybe there's like, hey, like we got this mothership, but maybe there's like more people. But then like
Yeah.
I actually watched Independence Day like this past week, and in one of the scenes it's like they're taking their entire civilization and they're moving like from planet to planet. So I think they actually did wipe out that whole species. I don't know.
I'd
I
feel
don't
kind of
think
bad
so.
about that a little bit.
But they
Yeah.
were trying to invade you.
Yeah, but do it sort of Ender's Game.
Yeah, there's
I don't
an
want.
Ender.
I don't want to spoil Ender's
Jeez,
Game.
man.
I
Spoiler
feel like
for
we've already
Ender's Game.
spoiled Ender's Game on this podcast.
You definitely
You
did.
definitely just did.
No, he did before already.
Oh, I
So-
don't know. You know,
Do we start? I mean, just at the start of every podcast, be like, "Spoiler alert for Ender's
So
Game."
we should have like a required watching list. So it's like if you don't want to get spoiled, you watch these movies,
Yeah.
and it's every Fast movie and Independence Day
And Ender's
and
Game.
Ender's Game.
Yeah, we're gonna spoil the new one like that night, so like you should probably see that at the same time too.
yeah.
So
All
what,
right.
what else we got for this week? Is that it?
I don't know.
I'm trying to
Spoiler
think,
alert.
see anything
The
else?
movie Battleship, real bad.
Oh yeah,
Oh God,
it's not surprising.
it was incomprehensible.
Incomprehensible.
I was out when I heard that Liam Neeson doesn't say "You sunk my battleship."
Liam, okay. Spoiler alert for Battleship.
Please spoil this movie.
Liam
for me.
Neeson is like the admiral, right, of like some naval fleet, and he turns out he's not the main dude fighting the aliens. It's some other dude, some young hotshot guy that doesn't even have his own command, and he does all the fighting. And Liam Neeson's just on the other side of the force field, just like, oh no, I guess can't help.
You know why? Because they didn't have enough money to pay Liam
Yeah.
Neeson for that whole movie.
I was just gonna say that.
Totally, it
Yeah,
was
but
just
they-
the other
They
dude.
spent a bunch of money on that movie though.
I'm
Yeah.
sure they
There was
did.
a
That's like a
shit ton of
$200 million.
CGI.
They got
movie.
Rihanna.
Yeah, Rihanna was in that movie.
Really?
But like,
Yeah, she was like one of the primary supporting actresses.
That's weird.
Did she get nominated for an Oscar?
Probably not. That movie was not very
might have been
good.
nominated for Razzie. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, you get Liam Neeson in the movie. He's not involved in the main action. You just get him to say, "You sunk my battleship."
Yeah, he didn't do any of
That's
that.
it's easy, and then that just goes in the trailer, and that movie makes 4 times more money than it did.
That's definitely worth his paycheck. Just that line, like
yeah.
No, in the trailer, like you get Liam Neeson to say, "You sunk my," and then you like cut it.
Oh yeah.
So you
could
so
do
you
that.
gotta-
and then it's like boom, big titles,
Yeah.
Battleship. Like
Yeah. So you don't get the full thing until you watch it.
Yeah. See, we could have made this movie more money than
Yeah.
it made.
We should definitely go into the movie production
It's-
business.
It's like kind of like when they were doing trailers for like new Die Hard movies. It'd be like yippee ki yay, and it would like cut it like right there.
Yeah, and then in the movie they would just not say it because it's PG-13.
Yeah, that was well. I mean,
They
That
only
was
did
some
they can
bullshit.
say it one
PG-13.
time. You get one fuck in a PG-13.
that which is such a bullshit rule.
But I think it's like you can't do it if it's done in a sexual way. So I don't think you can say mother.
You can't say motherfucker.
I think
Really?
that's too sexually
Well,
a
in
way
the-
to use
No,
it.
I thought it's like you can't be like say it like you're fucking someone or something.
That's the thing.
yes,
There's-
you can say
so
that.
we just took
James.
this
You can
podcast
But I
say-
feel like-
to the beyond.
But I
PG-13
feel like
level.
motherfucker.
Yeah,
It isn't really sexual.
That's
Like
more
at
like a
this point,
slang.
It's
I don't
kind
think
of-
they've ever
yeah.
said it though. In the fourth one, in Live Free or Die Hard, they like shoot a gun at the same time he
Yeah.
says "fuck."
Yippee-ki-yay, mother.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I think you can't say it because even in the PG-13 one, they didn't have it at all.
Man.
But 4 of the 5 diehards are rated R, so it's okay.
Did they? Was the last one R?
Yeah,
Because that was real terrible.
it was real terrible.
Which Die Hard was R?
All of them except Live Free or Die Hard.
Oh no, yeah, that one was definitely.
Why was the last one R? I don't really remember anything fucking happening in that movie at all.
I've
No, it
that
wasn't.
movie,
It was
yeah.
I forgot they
PG-13.
made Die Hard 5.
I thought the last one was PG-13.
All right, I'll look this up.
No, so Live Free or Die Hard is the most recent one, right?
No.
No.
They made a fifth one.
There's a good day
Wait.
to Die Hard.
With Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
There's 5 with Bruce
With
Willis.
Really?
And his son was in it. It was
What?
real terrible.
Last
I did
one
not
I
see
saw
that one.
had the Mac.
The
Yeah,
Mac?
yeah, the one with
that's,
Justin Long
that's
in it.
Live
yeah.
Free or Die Hard.
That's
That's the
that
4th
one. That one was all right.
There was a 5th one.
There's a 5th one that you should never watch.
Okay.
Forget that I told you it existed.
Is it the Crystal Skull of Die Hard?
I actually don't think Crystal Skull is a terrible movie, and I think that Die Hard 5 is a terrible movie.
I didn't think you were a terrible person, but now I do.
But like,
Oh damn!
it's all relative. Like when you look at Crystal Skull next to Raiders, it's not even.
yeah.
So,
You know.
so A Good Day to Die Hard is rated R for violence and language.
And Bruce Willis is in it.
So instant rated.
Is Bruce Willis trying in that movie?
No. He
Bruce
not.
Willis is cashing checks in that
Because
movie.
Bruce Willis stopped trying a while
Rest
ago.
and invest.
Yeah. I don't really know what his deal is.
I'm not sure at what point actors or comedians or whatever just like stop being good. It's like there's so many people who are like have been great. It's like I was watching that like SNL 40 thing. And like there's this big deal about like, oh man, we're gonna have Eddie Murphy back for the first time in 30 years. It's a huge deal. It's this whole thing. Like Chris Rock gets out there and he makes this like amazing intro for Eddie Murphy. And Eddie Murphy comes out on stage, like just him, and doesn't tell any jokes or anything. He's like, hey, you know, it's cool to be here after like 30 years, and it's pretty weird. And then talks for about a minute, and then it's end of segment, and he doesn't do anything. I'm like, you came back to this anniversary thing, and like, what? When did you stop being funny, Eddie Murphy? Like, when did that happen?
90s.
It's crazy though, right? Like,
Yeah, I know. He definitely fell off a huge cliff.
and like, does he not possess the ability to be funny anymore, or does he just not want to?
He's just
Both.
cashing in the checks for doing voiceovers now, isn't he?
He's not really doing
I mean, he's got that
anything.
Shrek money. you
Shrek
know.
money.
Maybe he just stopped doing the cocaine.
Maybe.
It's all the drugs he stopped
drugs.
doing.
What was the like spaceman movie he did for Disney?
Pluto Nash.
Pluto.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Maybe that's when he stopped being funny.
That's probably
That's another
it.
movie you probably should forget exists.
But like, there's totally a turning point for so many people. It's just like, for some reason, like they can't do it anymore, and I don't know why.
Once you go to Disney,
I feel like
that's
Liam
it.
Neeson's kind of on the edge there for that.
Yeah,
Like Liam Neeson, like he's just like cashing checks on his action movie thing, and like he hasn't really been in a good one in a while.
I mean,
he's really riding that
he's-
Taken train, and
he's
it's
just-
just going off the rails.
He's
Well,
just
people
super
keep-
pigeonholed right now. Like,
well, because people keep paying him to do it.
right.
I mean, the plane movie wasn't terrible.
Yeah, but it wasn't anything special.
Yeah, it was. You know.
Well, it was super predictable, and you're like, okay, I know what I'm getting into on this one, but like, it was way better than Taken 2, which was just atrocious. And I can't even imagine what Taken 3 is like.
Hey.
I'm just not even going to go there.
Harrison, do you have a good recent action movie you'd like to recommend that we might have seen very recently?
I saw Kingsman.
Yeah,
That was a pretty good movie.
yeah.
I was
yeah.
talking about The Equalizer.
I also saw The Equalizer, which is an even better movie.
Oh man.
God damn.
Yeah, that was
Those-
a,
Talk about someone who hasn't lost it. Denzel fucking Washington
Oh, yeah.
has not lost it.
You get Denzel, that's going to make a movie right there.
And like, he doesn't even like. It's just Denzel being Denzel, and he doesn't even need to do anything else, and it's amazing right now. Like,
I don't know. I didn't see it.
Oh,
but
man.
I-
you would like it, Chris.
But Denzel
I think
movies
you'd like
haven't
it.
been that good.
No,
Well,
you would like
I-
the Equalizer. You
No,
need to
I
give the
believe you. I
Equalizer a
will
shot.
like the Equalizer.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to go pre-Equalizer Denzel movies.
Well, like
Flight?
that train
He
movie.
was-
he was good in
No,
Flight.
The
He was good in
train
Flight.
movie wasn't very. That was subpar for
the
Denzel.
taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
That was alright.
In the
he
grand
was in,
scheme
he was
of
in multiple
movies,
train
it was-
movies.
Oh, he was. Yeah.
Oh yeah, was that the time where like there was 2 train movies at the same time?
It
They
wasn't
both
the
with
same
Denzel?
time, but like Denzel was in
close.
some train movie with
there was
John
like two
Travolta,
guns.
and then he was in another train movie with Captain Kirk.
So Two Guns was pretty good.
I haven't seen Two
Flight
Guns.
was good.
Flight
I
was
like
amazing.
Flight, but
The
that wasn't a
Equalizer.
normal Denzel movie, really.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris, did she drink the vodka?
Yeah.
Yeah. The movie
messed
is
it up.
amazing.
No, I know.
Yeah. So Kingsman was pretty good though. Like I enjoyed that movie. If you like spy movies,
Yeah, definitely.
it's pretty good.
I sort of enjoyed it to the end, and it kind of lost me, and it just got a little.
I know it gets a little complicated.
No, it
Well,
was
you just didn't
mostly
like that-
Spoilers. I really just didn't like.
Don't
it was-
spoil that entire movie
No.
right now.
No.
There were some visual effects in a scene at the end that really rubbed James the
Fucking
wrong
dumb.
way.
Fucking dumb. You fucking
Uh-oh.
producers, go to hell.
Well, it went that.
I take back my spoiler for your shitty.
All right.
movie.
Does anyone have anything last things, or We're going to go to plugs.
Well, let's go to the plugs.
All right, James, you got his plug? You got a plug over there after that?
Producers of KingdomSuckballs.com.
Man, I can't believe you really disliked that movie.
That movie
much.
was pretty good until the stupid ending.
The ending wasn't that
It
stupid.
was real dumb.
And
It was
it wasn't
not-
even really the ending. It was you were pissed off about the visuals in like 4 shots at the end of the movie.
Yep.
That's insane.
Harrison,
I'm Harrison Hoffman on Twitter.
Max, you got one for us?
You can find me on the internet at craft.com/threesomes.
Can you explain that?
It's a new salad dressing.
No,
3
so
flavors of
I'm Maxaroni and Cheese, which is associated in my mind with Kraft, which also has Kraft singles.
So now it's Craft Threesomes. Okay,
Yes.
got it.
Oh wait,
That would have been real
it.
deep.
Yeah, that was real deep. I'm glad you asked to explain that one. So
Yeah.
that
That
helps.
definitely would have gone over my head.
And that was definitely way
Didn't
over
get
my head.
info.
I feel like your single just turns into a really big single though if you don't have separate packaging strips.
Oh, it comes
That's
with
not
like the
the
plastic
point.
in the middle, and then you eat it.
So it's like a wrapper around all 3, and then there's like a little strip in between each.
James,
of
you're
them.
thinking about this too hard.
Well, because if it's just a big single, then it's just like an extra thick piece of cheese.
He's not talking about macaroni and cheese.
No, he's. Oh.
He's talking about craft singles.
Don't worry about it.
By the way,
If
last
you don't
week,
know,
for the first time in like 10 years, I ate an entire box of Kraft mac and cheese, and it is not as cheesy as I remember. Like I remember there being lots of cheese sauce when you eat that, and it was just not. There wasn't a lot of cheese going on. That's my story about that.
Is that what you want us to end on, Harrison?
That was
yes.
Until next week. Yeah.
a solid story right there.
Thank you.
Rob,
thanks.
you got any plugs?
I'm on Twitter at Rob Kitts, and I want to issue an apology because last show we were talking about the U.S. Coast Guard and what the equivalent would be in Canada. I looked it up. It's called the Canadian Coast Guard.
Yeah,
But what's the Coast Guard in Australia? Did we solve that
I
yet?
didn't look that one up.
Okay.
it's the Australian Coast Guard. What do you think it's going to be? They guard the coast, Harrison.
They do guard the coast.
They have a lot of coast.
It's true. A lot of coast.
You can follow me at the Chris Lorenz, and you can follow us on Twitter at Who Put This On. You can find us on Facebook.com/Who Put This On, and please email us. We want to answer your cues, so send them to us.
I want
At-
to A your cues.
Yes, you can email us at whoputthison@gmail.com. See you guys next week.
Peace.